everyone. I'm Val.
And I'm Sossy.
And we wanted to give you a little demo on hand applique. I'm left-handed and Sauce is right-handed, so we thought it's a kind of a nice little addition because us left-handed people get left out a lot. We're working on a project that is super fun and easy to applique and great for a demo. We have our thread, you need your needle, and you need some scissors. I like to use this Aurifil. It's an 80 weight, so it's super thin. You can also use like a silk thread. Like there's some specific hand piecing threads, but a lot of times I grab what I can find. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Same with my needles, but favorite needles are Milner's.
Yes.
As far as hand applique for me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Milner's, or we have some short darners that are Sue Sparko ones that are pretty
And
good.
my only problem with those needles are that I have a really hard time threading them. So I do love my little thread, needle threader that's by Clover, I think. Yeah, it is Clover. And I love the trick of doing multiple needles with thread already threaded, so you know you can just sew till your heart's content.
Yeah, I don't think that far ahead, but I should try.
Yeah. And then I like these little Kai's my favorite brand of scissors. So they're little scissors. So what kind of stuff do you like?
So these are the Karen K Buckley's. I like them because they have a little guard over your scissor points, because a lot of times I'll throw my scissors in my bag and then they're poking through or they're clipping something, so this way they can just go right in my bag. I also like to pin my pieces down.
Oh, I pin
especially
too.
On the bigger pieces. So I like the little steel dressmaker's pins. I don't like ones with the big tops, flower tops, or
The
things
flat
like that.
heads, yeah.
When I'm doing applique, just because it gets in the
Yeah.
way. For other things, they're great, but for these, I like the little steel.
And I just use the little glass head pins from I think Clover makes them. Just about everybody makes them. So so that's all you need. So
Yeah.
now we can
Started.
sew.
Okay, so I like to just finger press a little bit before I go. Of course, there's several ways that you can do applique with freezer paper or ironing your edges down before you lay it down, whatever you want to do. I like to just fold as I go. So I think you call that needle turn. Maybe if you turn it under with your needle, or
finger press personally.
Yeah. So I just like to finger press a little bit and then I pinch it with my thumb. And I turn mine as an angle. And so then got my long needle. I like to bend my needles, so you can always tell which needle's mine because it's going to be pretty much a curve by the time I'm done. And so then I just go down and take a little bite out of the fabric, is what my teachers always called it. Just take a little bite, and then I come up through the top one and I pull it, and then I'll go back down right where I came up, take another little bite of the background fabric. And I like to keep my thumb, so I never get manicures because I'll have big gouges from needles if I do, so no manicures for me. And then I'll come up right where my thumb is and grab and pull again, and you just do that kind of all the way around. So then on the back of mine you can see just little bitty stitches, and you can go bigger or smaller. I wouldn't go too much bigger because then you'll get puckers, but definitely I could probably go a little bit smaller on these, but that is how I work my way around.
Well, and I learned the proper way, but I'm kind of a lazy appliquer, I would say. I don't do it as much as as some people do, and probably, yeah. Anyway, my stitches are not so accurate. You look at the back of mine, they're all over the place, but that's okay. I love finger pressing mine, and I'll go quite a ways. So that it almost, especially like on this linen, has a memory then. I have a little knot on the end, and I come in and I tuck it under. Get that first part tucked under. And when I'm on camera, I'm also a little bit more flimsy. I also do not have my reading glasses, so we're gonna hope these are pretty stitches, right? So yeah, I come up at the very edge. I was taught to just grab those first couple threads and then come right next to your stitch and you grab a little bit and come up and grab those threads. And again, I don't have my glasses. Starting off is really, I always like really try to be accurate when I start off just at this edge where you know that eventually that's going to be in a seam. I don't take as small a stitches as Sossity does.
I take 2 small stitches is what my friends say, because then if you have to rip it out, it's a real pain.
Yeah, although I should take a little bit smaller just in case I ever decide to wash this quilt or utilize it. You know, you want to take small enough stitches that you can utilize your piece. Unless it's going on the wall, then man, I definitely take different size stitches. So that is how I go along, and I, you know, just keep tucking under, going along. And then if sometimes you have these inside curves, and especially like this little guy, he's a little bit, this is the next one. If I was going to put this one in here, this is the next size. And sometimes when you have an archer, you might need to clip, but you know, you only want to clip it like 1/8 of an inch, like just a tiny bit, because you still are tucking it under 1/4. Although I think this pattern, they say you tuck under 1/8.
About 1/8, yeah.
But most applique, you would have 1/4 inch around your piece of fabric for seam allowance. But some patterns have you do less. So there you go.